In every corner of our planet, from the highest mountains to the deepest oceans, a great drama is always happening. It is the story of survival. For every living creature, life is a constant challenge. They must find food to eat, avoid becoming food for others, and find a mate to continue their family line. Animals do not have supermarkets for food or hospitals when they get sick. They must rely on their own special skills and bodies to live another day. This daily struggle has made animals into some of the most amazing and clever beings on Earth. Their stories are full of danger, surprise, and incredible strength. The world is, a very busy and often dangerous place for animals. A tiny insect might need to hide from a hungry bird, while a huge whale must search the vast ocean for tiny fish. Every day brings a new test. The weather can be too hot or too cold. Food might be hard to find. And there are always other animals looking for a meal. To survive these challenges, animals have developed wonderful and sometimes strange ways to live. They have learned to be smart, strong, and sometimes very tricky. Their lives are a beautiful dance of survival, a game where the rules are set by nature itself. Each animal has its own special tools for this game. Some have sharp claws and teeth for hunting. Others have amazing colors to hide from their enemies. Some animals work together in big groups to protect each other and find food more easily. They communicate in secret ways, using special sounds, smells, or even changing the color of their skin. These survival skills are not learned in a single day. They have been passed down from parents to children for thousands, even millions of years. This long process has created the amazing variety of life we see all around us today. In this essay, we will look at some of these incredible animal stories. We will travel around the world to see how different creatures face their daily challenges. We will see a fish that makes its own light in the deep, dark sea. We will watch millions of crabs march across an island. We will see how dolphins use their brains to hunt together. These are not just simple stories. They are tales of nature's drama. They show us the amazing power and beauty of the animal world and the endless, fascinating struggle for life on our incredible planet. In the waters off the coast of Australia, a truly amazing event takes place. It is the gathering of the giant cuttlefish. Thousands of these creatures come together for a very important reason: to find a mate. A cuttlefish is a cousin of the octopus and the squid, and it has a remarkable talent. It can change the color and pattern of its skin in an instant. This is how they talk to each other. They send waves of color across their bodies to show if they are angry, scared, or ready to mate. It is like watching a living, moving television screen, a beautiful and complex language of light and color. The males, who can be quite large, compete fiercely for the attention of the females. A big, strong male might guard a female he has chosen, trying to keep all other males away. He will flash his most impressive colors and patterns to show his strength and win her over. But in this world of color and show, not everything is as it seems. Smaller, less powerful males have a very clever trick. They can pretend to be a female. A small male will change his colors to look like a female, even tucking in his arms to complete the disguise. This allows him to swim right past the big, guarding male without a fight. The big male is completely fooled. He thinks another female is just swimming by. The small, clever male then gets close to the real female and quickly mates with her. It is a brilliant strategy of deception. The female, for her part, often mates with several different males, both big and small. This helps to make sure her babies will be strong and healthy, with a good mix of genes from different fathers. It is a complicated game of love and trickery, all played out using the incredible language of color. The cuttlefish's skin is its secret weapon for survival. After mating, the drama is not over. The female lays her eggs, carefully placing them in safe spots under rocks. Her life, and the lives of the males, is very short, lasting only a year or two. This one big mating event is their only chance to pass on their life to the next generation. The giant cuttlefish, with its amazing ability to change color and its clever mating tricks, shows us how creative nature can be. It is a stunning example of how animals use unique skills to succeed in the great game of life and continue their family line for another year. Imagine a world where there is no sunlight at all. This is the deep sea, a place of total darkness, immense pressure, and cold temperatures. It is one of the most difficult places to live on Earth, yet even here, life finds a way. One of the most famous residents of this dark world is the deep-sea anglerfish. This fish has a truly amazing way to survive and find food where there is nothing to see. It carries its own fishing rod with a glowing lure. This is a perfect example of how animals adapt to live in the most extreme environments on our planet. The anglerfish is a master of ambush. It does not waste energy swimming around looking for food in the vast darkness. Instead, it waits for food to come to it. Protruding from the female anglerfish's head is a long spine, and on the end of it is a small ball of flesh. This is the lure. Inside this lure live millions of tiny light-producing bacteria. The anglerfish can control this light, turning it on and off to attract the attention of other small fish and creatures. In the endless black of the deep ocean, this small dangling light is an irresistible curiosity for many animals. A curious shrimp or a small squid sees the strange twinkling light and swims closer to investigate. It gets closer and closer, mesmerized by the strange glow. Then, in a flash, the anglerfish opens its enormous mouth, which is filled with long, sharp teeth that point inwards. The unsuspecting victim is instantly sucked in and swallowed. It is a quick and deadly trap, and it allows the anglerfish to eat without ever having to chase its prey. This energy-saving method is very important in the deep sea, where food can be very hard to find and every bit of energy counts. For the anglerfish, this light is not just for hunting. It is also important for finding a mate in the dark. The male anglerfish is tiny compared to the female. When he finds a female, he bites onto her body and stays there for the rest of his life, becoming a permanent partner. This strange and fascinating creature, with its built-in flashlight and clever hunting strategy, is a perfect symbol of the deep sea. It shows us that even in the darkest, most challenging places on Earth, life can be incredibly inventive and wonderfully strange, finding unique solutions to the problem of survival. Once a year, a small island in the Indian Ocean turns into a sea of red. This is Christmas Island, home to millions of red crabs. For most of the year, these crabs live quiet lives in the cool, damp forest. But when the rainy season begins, something incredible happens. A powerful, ancient instinct tells them it is time to move. An army of about 50 million crabs leaves their homes and begins a long and difficult journey across the island. Their destination is the coast, and their purpose is to release their eggs into the ocean, where the baby crabs must begin their lives. This migration is one of nature's greatest spectacles. The crabs march over everything in their path. They cross roads, climb over fences, and even go through houses. The people who live on the island know this is a special time. They build special bridges and tunnels for the crabs, and even close roads to make sure the crabs can travel safely. The journey is full of dangers. The crabs can dry out under the hot sun, get run over by cars, or be attacked by predators. But they are driven by a force they cannot resist. It is a journey they must make. When the crabs finally reach the coast, the males arrive first and dig burrows. They fight with each other for the best spots. When the females arrive, they mate, and then the males begin their long journey back to the forest. The females stay behind, holding their precious eggs. They wait for the perfect moment, which is determined by the moon and the tide. On 1 or 2 special nights at the peak of the high tide, they all go down to the water's edge. Even though they are land crabs and cannot swim, they bravely face the waves to release their eggs. Each female releases around 100,000 eggs into the sea. With millions of females doing this, the ocean turns dark, with trillions of tiny future crabs. The moment the eggs touch the salt water, they hatch into tiny larvae. These larvae will spend about a month in the ocean, growing and changing. Most will be eaten, but a few will survive. These lucky few will eventually transform into tiny crabs and make their own journey out of the sea and back to the forest, completing the amazing circle of life. This incredible migration is a powerful story of instinct and the will to survive against all odds. Section 5. Dolphins, clever hunters of the coast. Dolphins, they're known for being some of the most intelligent animals in the ocean. They live in social groups and have these complex ways of communicating and working together. One of the most amazing examples of their cleverness, I must say, can be seen in how they hunt for fish. In certain shallow coastal areas, like the muddy banks of South Carolina, dolphins have developed a unique and risky hunting technique. It requires perfect timing, teamwork, and, well, a lot of skill. This method is called strand feeding, and it's a fascinating display of animal intelligence and cooperation. A group of dolphins works together like a well-trained team. They begin by herding a school of fish, pushing them towards the shore. As they get closer to a muddy bank, they coordinate their movements. With a powerful surge, the dolphins create a wave, a wall of water that pushes the fish right out of the sea and onto the mud. The fish are trapped, flapping helplessly on the land. This is the moment the dolphins have been waiting for. They then slide their bodies partially out of the water and onto the bank to snatch up the easy meal. This hunting strategy is incredibly effective, but, it is also very dangerous for the dolphins. If they misjudge the slope of the bank or stay out of the water for too long, they could become stranded themselves. They can only perform this trick during low tide, when the water level is just right. It's a skill that is not born in them. It is learned. Young dolphins watch the older, more experienced members of their group for years. They practice and learn until they have mastered the technique. It is a culture passed down from one generation to the next. Interestingly, scientists have noticed that the dolphins who use this method always beach themselves on their right side. Over time, the teeth on the right side of their jaws become worn down from scooping up fish and mud. When a dolphin gets too old and its teeth are too worn, it can no longer hunt this way. This incredible behavior of strand feeding shows how smart dolphins are. They use teamwork, planning, and learned skills to get their food, proving that they are not just playful swimmers but also highly intelligent and strategic hunters of the sea. In the quiet of the night, when most animals are sleeping, a different world awakens. This is the time of the silent hunter, the snake. Many snakes are masters of hunting in complete darkness, where sight is useless. They do not need eyes to find their prey. Instead, they have a secret sense, a superpower that allows them to see heat. Some snakes, like pit vipers, have special heat-detecting pits on their faces. These pits are incredibly sensitive organs that can detect the tiny amount of body heat given off by a warm-blooded animal, like a mouse or a rat. Imagine a snake waiting patiently in the dark. It stays perfectly still, blending in with the shadows. It might position itself along a path that it knows small animals use. For the snake, the world is not a picture of shapes and colors, but a map of heat. A warm mouse running by in the pitch-black night glows like a bright light in the snake's thermal vision. This allows the snake to know exactly where the mouse is, how big it is, and which direction it is moving. It can track its prey with perfect accuracy, even with its eyes closed. The snake waits for the perfect moment to strike. It is a master of patience. When the unsuspecting mouse gets close enough, the snake attacks with incredible speed. It lunges forward, its mouth wide open, and injects its venom with a single, quick bite. The venom works fast, and the mouse does not get very far. The snake then uses another one of its amazing senses to find its meal. It uses its forked tongue to taste the air, picking up the scent of the dead mouse, and following the trail to its prize. Once the snake finds the mouse, it swallows it whole. A meal like this can be enough food to last the snake for weeks. This hunting method is extremely efficient. The snake uses very little energy by waiting for its food to come to it, and its special heat sense means it can hunt successfully when many other predators cannot. The snake's ability to see heat is a remarkable adaptation that makes it one of the most effective and mysterious hunters of the night, a silent and deadly predator in a world of darkness. In the vast, frozen landscape of the Arctic, survival is a daily battle against the cold and hunger. Here lives the world's largest land predator, the polar bear. This magnificent animal is perfectly built for its icy home, with thick fur and a layer of fat to keep warm. But finding food is a constant challenge, especially as the sea ice melts. A polar bear's main food is seals, which it hunts on the ice, but sometimes a bear must hunt other, more difficult prey. On a remote island, a hungry polar bear might face a group of walruses, a truly formidable opponent. A single walrus can be much bigger and heavier than a polar bear, and it has long, sharp tusks that can be deadly weapons. Hunting a walrus is extremely dangerous, so the polar bear needs every advantage it can get. Sometimes nature provides the perfect cover. A thick sea fog can roll in, blanketing the island and making it hard to see. For the polar bear, this fog is a gift. Its white fur makes it nearly invisible, allowing it to move like a ghost, getting closer to the herd of walruses without being seen. The element of surprise is its only real chance of success. The bear silently approaches a large group of walruses resting on the shore. The adult walruses are very protective of their young. They form a defensive wall with their massive bodies, facing outwards with their tusks ready. The bear must try to get past this wall to reach a smaller, more vulnerable walrus. The bear launches a surprise attack, charging out of the fog. It tries to create panic and separate one walrus from the safety of the herd. It might grab onto a walrus with its powerful jaws and claws, but the walrus's skin is incredibly thick and tough. The struggle is immense. The polar bear is strong, but the walrus is even stronger and fights desperately to get back to the water or the protection of the herd. More often than not, the attack fails. The walrus may be too heavy to drag, or its companions might come to its aid. The exhausted polar bear is forced to retreat, its hunt unsuccessful. This dramatic clash shows the harsh reality of life in the Arctic. Even for a top predator like the polar bear, survival is not guaranteed. It is a constant struggle that requires strength, patience, and a little bit of luck from the weather. High in the remote and rugged mountains of the Himalayas lives one of the most beautiful and mysterious cats in the world, the snow leopard. This animal is so rare and so good at hiding that it is often called the ghost of the mountains. Living in such a harsh and difficult environment requires incredible skill and adaptation. The snow leopard has thick, smoky grey fur with dark spots, which provides perfect camouflage against the rocky slopes. This allows it to blend in completely with its surroundings, making it almost impossible to see. The snow leopard is built for life in the mountains. It has huge paws that act like snowshoes, helping it walk on deep snow without sinking. These large paws also have fur on the bottom, which gives the cat a better grip on steep, slippery rocks and protects its feet from the cold. Its most impressive feature is its incredibly long and thick tail. The tail can be almost as long as its body. It uses this tail like a balancer, helping it to keep steady when it is leaping between rocks or chasing prey down a steep mountain. At night, it can wrap its tail around itself like a scarf to keep warm. Hunting in these mountains is extremely difficult. The snow leopard's prey, like the markhor or the blue sheep, are also expert climbers and are always alert for danger. A female snow leopard must hunt not only for herself, but also for her cubs. She uses her amazing camouflage to stalk her prey silently. She gets as close as she possibly can, moving slowly and using rocks for cover. Her movements are patient and precise. She might wait for hours for the perfect moment to attack, waiting for her prey to be distracted. When the moment is right, she explodes into action. She can leap great distances, chasing her prey down treacherous slopes at high speed. The hunt is a breathtaking display of power and agility. A successful hunt will provide enough food for her and her cub for several days. But success is never certain. A missed step or a moment's hesitation can mean the difference between a meal and going hungry. The life of the snow leopard is a testament to the power of adaptation, a solitary and silent hunter, perfectly tuned to survive in one of the world's most challenging landscapes. The stories of these amazing animals show us that the natural world is full of wonder and drama. From the deep-sea anglerfish with its personal lantern to the millions of red crabs on their epic march, every creature has a unique tale of survival. We see the clever teamwork of dolphins, the patient hunt of the snake, and the cunning disguise of the cuttlefish. These animals do not just live, they solve problems, they innovate, and they persevere against incredible challenges. Their lives are a constant display of strength, intelligence, and adaptation in the face of hardship. What can we, as humans, learn from watching them? First, we can learn about the importance of resilience. Animals face difficulties every single day, from finding food to escaping predators. The polar bear may fail to catch the walrus, but it will not give up. It will rest and try again. The crabs on Christmas Island face a long and dangerous journey, but they are driven by an instinct to continue their species. They teach us that even when things are difficult, it is important to keep going and to have the strength to face our own challenges with determination. We can also learn about the power of creativity and adaptation. The world is always changing, and these animals show us how to change with it. The anglerfish found a way to create light in total darkness. The sword-billed hummingbird developed a special beak for a flower no one else could reach. They did not wait for the world to become easier. They found new and clever ways to succeed in the world they had. This reminds us to be creative in our own lives, to think of new solutions to our problems, and to be flexible when things around us change. Finally, these stories teach us to have a greater respect for nature. Every animal, no matter how big or small, plays an important part in the beautiful and complex web of life. Their survival stories are not just interesting, they are a reminder that we share this planet with millions of other incredible species. By understanding their struggles and their triumphs, we can better appreciate the amazing world we live in. We can learn to be more like the patient snake, the cooperative dolphin, and the resilient polar bear. And in doing so, we can learn a little more about how to live our own lives better.